In Missouri, Herbert Smalls was in the middle of a phone call with his attorney, and his appeal was still pending with the Supreme Court when he was apprehended by prison guards and led to the execution table and executed by lethal injection. The timeline goes roughly like this. At 10:11, the final lethal injection protocols were initiated. At 10:20, Smalls was pronounced dead. At 10:30, the Supreme Court notified the lawyers that Smalls' final stay request had been denied, and they had denied it at 10:24. So Missouri began the execution 13 minutes before they legally knew that they could, and he was dead 4 minutes before the Supreme Court made their final decision. Unfortunately, in a 1983 case in Missouri, Barefoot versus Estelle, stays of execution are not necessarily automatic if a file is still pending with the court, even if there's still a file pending like there was under Missouri law. So, unfortunately, that's it. There was a man who was executed when he was in the middle of him and his lawyer trying to save his life. So I throw it out to you, how do you feel about this story? But I do have one question that may go unanswered. What if the court had granted his stay request?
Look, if you're asking me what I think about this, I don't find this at all surprising. I mean, really? This is America, while we're incredibly happy to, kill people. We love killing people. It's a public spectacle, almost. The one reason that they had to actually get rid of public executions is because people loved it too much. So the thought of executing somebody is like, yeehaw, especially if you're in, like, Texas, where they're literally yeehaw. But as far as it, his stay, like, executing him 13 minutes earlier, I didn't really think it mattered that much to the guards there. Where they're like, I don't care. We're going to kill him anyway. Who cares? Nobody's going to give him a stay of execution. Nobody's going to commute his sentence. We just might as well do it early because I'm going to go have beer with the guys later, and this is holding me up. Look, it's right. Pretty much where they don't really care about, life. They don't really care about prisoners because they're not people. And what do you want to bet that this man was an African American?
Yes, actually, he was an African American.
Oh my goodness. Who didn't see that coming?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're treated like, rodents, pests, disease-ridden, just things that need to be eliminated. They don't seem to view them as anything valuable, and they have no respect for that life. It's just, it's treated so nonchalantly, but what kind of raging firestorm would we be reading about right now if the judges had actually called at 10:30 and said that we decided to actually stay his execution because of this, whatever. It doesn't matter why. It would be insane. And why, why are they in such a rush? No one should ever be in a rush to kill another human being. Unless, they're being attacked.
But what's kind of interesting too is this article had actually said that the state was not required to disclose the manufacturer of the drugs used. So this was like a different drug cocktail than what's normally used. Like,
yes, that's becoming
the pentobarbital or whatever the name of the drug. It escapes me right now what the actual name of the drugs that they normally use to execute people are. But at least this wasn't like the one of the other stories that we had recently covered where it took 26 minutes to die, supposedly.
Right. Yeah, but these new drug cocktails are becoming more and more commonly used because the drug manufacturers for the drugs that are normally used don't want to be associated with, being used for the death penalty. They don't want their drugs to be associated with something that kills people.
Right. Yeah, and look, that's understandable. I keep going back to what Ben Mankiewicz had actually said about that. If you want to do it, just shoot him in the head. And but I know that doesn't really have a whole lot to do with this particular case, because this is about timing. This is about, you know, people going ahead of time. And what's kind of sad too is the 1983 Supreme Court ruling saying that no, this actually is legal, probably legal, and the fact that yeah, you could have a stay of execution, maybe, but you know what? We don't care. We're gonna kill you first. We're gonna kill you.
Right. And yeah, that's a dangerous assumption to make. And yes, his request for stays and appeals have he tried a couple of them and they were denied. But you know, this was from the Supreme Court. But you know, again, under their state laws, they probably won't see any repercussions for this because under their state laws, it's probably legal. It's probably legal. It doesn't make it right, but it's probably legal, and probably no one is going to make a big deal out of this because of the fact that he's a prisoner and that he was convicted of something.
Well, I think no matter what, you would, you know, had he been executed on time, I'm pretty sure you still would have been against it, because I know your stance is no death penalty whatsoever. So I
pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, you know, what you would be most outraged about anyway, whether it's the fact that they're executing him about 13 minutes earlier. Now, I've stated publicly on the show that for some people, I would be okay with execution. Not exactly all that liberal of me to say, but there are some people in this world that deserved it. And the thing that's missing in this is what he had actually done. That's definitely information that at least I would like to know out of personal curiosity. I would like to know what he had done to, you know, sort of make a, like, you know, if this guy went on a murdering spree of like 5 pregnant women or something like that and was a disaster, I would still probably get mad about them, you know, executing him early, because I don't necessarily agree with that, because the possibility of a stay and the fact that it is cheaper to keep somebody in prison than to execute them, especially with some crazy cocktail of drugs like that we actually don't know the effects of and how long it will take to die, and that's not exactly clear in this article. I think this really lacks a lot of crucial information that I would like to know.
Okay, yeah, it's a little bit more cut and dry for me, because I feel like if there is a death penalty, if there has to be a death penalty, then I think it shouldn't be a law that requests filed in the court don't automatically stay in execution. I think if you're waiting for a pending decision from a Supreme Court judge who has agreed to hear, you know, the case one more time, or hear the request for an appeal or a stay, then that needs to be respected. And the lack of humanity that goes into rushing to execute someone when you're still waiting for that decision, that's what was most important and most striking to me. It doesn't really matter to me what he did.
It's not like this guy was gonna, you know, was in the condition, at least as far as I know, it's not like this guy was in the condition to fall over, so they had to hurry up and like get him in there. He's gonna keel over on his own. No.
Right, we have to rush to kill him before he dies.
Right. I mean, you can wait for 13 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long.
And so the biggest injustice to me in this story is the law. Is the law that was that started with that case in 1983. It shouldn't be legal for them to be able to do that.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip, make sure to like and leave a comment below, or even share. Sharing is caring. If you want to see more TYT Nation videos, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TYT Nation. Thank you for watching.